let's take another trip. This time to see how ice cream is made. The story begins on farms like this one, where pedigreed stock all record milk producers provide the fine cream necessary for the best ice cream. The cows are carefully cleansed and mechanical milking machines take the milk from the cow directly into the covered containers.
Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Tonight we're discussing the Ice Creamatory in Norman, Oklahoma, and a little bit later, Cherokee Nation filming news. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So admittedly, we like horror movies, and maybe there are a few that probably get more replay value, right?
Yes.
We also fancy a sweet tooth. So I think the Ice Creamatory fits.
The Ice Creamatory...
No, it doesn't fit you.
In Norman, Oklahoma is a great fit for the OnlyinOKShow. Unfortunately, one of us is fat.
But you're keto.
Yeah.
You're keto. I'm diabetic, which basically eliminates me from 99.9%.
It eliminates you from being the regular. You're not going to be Norm at the Ice Creamatory in Norman, Oklahoma.
I'm definitely not. And the good thing is you don't have to be normal to go there. You can be normal. You can be a jock. You can come in dressed up like a court jester. I said gesture. Jester. I'm terrible.
At words, at talking. It's really... it is great that you host a podcast.
Yeah.
Because your inability to put two words together does make for great listening.
Well, what I love about it is occasionally I get to read copy, but when I have to go off the cuff, when I'm off script, we've known some prominent people in government that have gone off script, and I don't know what to say after that. I'm not prominent.
A perfect example of why you have to have something written down in front of you.
Well, it's like on Anchorman. Why did he repeat? He reads everything you write.
So we do have a great interview with Jimmy over at the Ice Creamatory.
Jimmy Mack.
Coming up in just a second, but we do have a few call-outs on this. We had to work around Jimmy's schedule for this interview.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of the interview, he's in his car. So if you hear some weird noises or a little bit of background noise, some of it was hard to clean up. So, but it's only for a portion of the interview.
Yeah.
So if you hear that and you're like, I can't listen to this, just wait a couple of seconds and it'll be right back to normal.
Well, and at the end of the show, we've got a few other call outs as well. I've got some sauce issues. We need to address some dipping sauce problems. If we can do that at the end of the show just briefly. I want to have my own feedback section. It's my turn. It's my turn to give my feedback about feedback. Fair enough?
I think that 99% of people listening to this have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, they'll know because I'm giving some of our people a 2 out of 5. There, I said it.
All right, well, stick around for the interview.
With over 75,000 views on TikTok, over 60 or 70 toppings and swirl-ins you can do, we are finally lucky enough to get the creepiest ice cream shop in Oklahoma, maybe even the country. It's the Ice Creamatory. And joining us tonight, this exclusive interview with co-owner, because I don't want to get in trouble with your boss, co-owner / operator of the Ice Creamatory in Norman. It's Jimmy Makowski. Jimmy, welcome to the OnlyinOKShow, finally.
Thank you, sir.
Well,
it's an honor.
Well, it's truly an honor for us, for sure. And you and I have a brief history. I remember coming to the Ice Creamatory, like we've talked about before, driving down I passed you guys 3 times, and my girlfriend was like, I think it was back there. I was like, I didn't see it. Because you didn't have the problem which is a good problem. You didn't have the problem that you have now, where literally you just have to look for the line on the sidewalk. That's crazy. And you guys came all the way. Where are you from originally?
Long Island, New York.
Long Island to Oklahoma. It's really hard to connect those dots. What in the world?
Quite the journey.
Well, what in the world brought you to Oklahoma, first of all?
Well, I spent a lot of time in my former career in Texas, and we were doing, after the pandemic, we wanted to open a business, and the pandemic wasn't too friendly to small business up in New York, so we were looking elsewhere that was more small business oriented, and we came across Oklahoma by way of Texas. I know that's kind of a sin to say, but
yeah, try not to say it too
loud.
Right?
Yeah, we were looking in the Dallas area, and then my wife said, "Hey, how about Oklahoma?" And we flew on down here, checked out some areas, we checked out the city. We fell in love with Norman, fell in love with pretty much the whole metropolitan area, and that was it. We never looked back.
Well, I'm just glad to know that we won the bidding war with DFW, honestly. You're happy you're here anyway, let's be real.
We went back and forth to Dallas for like concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
We're glad we went to Oklahoma.
What an interesting business model, in the sense that obviously horror, your horror fandom runs pretty deep, but where did the concept of let's combine our love of horror with an ice cream shop? I'd love to know how that all came about.
My wife and I, we're foodies, so we love going out to enjoy the finer things in life, which is food, first and foremost for us. We would visit other ice cream shops, and we'd be like, well, copy and paste bubblegum colors. And,
yeah.
It's just simple. It's just so simple. So we said, if you're going to do something, if you're going to make something of your own, do it different. Nobody really does horror theme. Everybody loves Halloween and horror movies. I mean, maybe not so much horror movies, but Halloween too. So either way, you get them.
Thing I noticed right off the bat is, I'm a huge Halloween fan. I mean, my forearm might tell you that. I'm wearing a Halloween polo right now. So when I walked in and was greeted by Myers in the corner, and also when I look at your menu, I look at the aesthetics. Two themes really, really float to the top for me. The Boogeyman, which to most people that aren't in the horror thing, they think, when I think of the Boogeyman, I don't think of the one that lives under the bed. I think of what they refer to as Myers as the Boogeyman in Halloween 78. And then I also hone in, zone in, because he's a prominent figure, Ghostface. Are these two personal favorites, or was it unintentional, or what was the thought behind that? I need to know.
Ghostface is definitely, between my wife and I, one of our absolute favorite characters and series of movies besides the fifth one. We won't talk about that, though. The Boogeyman, Michael Myers, is definitely absolutely my wife's favorite. I grew up as more of a Jason kind of guy. I thought the first Halloween was boring. Sinner, I know. What are you going to do?
Well, me personally, you have to respect the original. For me,
always.
It goes Halloween 2, then Halloween 1. So, for me.
I loved Halloween 2. I thought it was great. More action. Just like input. Yep.
You got to see blood. You got to see Michael do some... and nothing wrong with his, stalking, just kind of brooding. The scariest part of the first one is when he's breaking into the closet and coming through the doors. That's the scariest part for me. But I have fond memories of watching Halloween 2 on the floor at my great-aunt's house on a 13 or 19-inch Zenith TV with the bunny ears up. Michael Myers has always had a special place in my... I know it sounds so corny to be... And the Halloween movies are not... They're not all created equal.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. Halloween 3 is my favorite.
Look, it took me 40 years to come around to Halloween 3. Now I have 3 T-shirts, a 4K, a Blu-ray, and a VHS of Halloween 3. So it took me some time. But let me ask you this. Let's talk about horror for a little bit. Where did it all... Okay. We all have that story of, I remember staying at my grandma's, I remember staying up late on a Friday night or a Saturday night. What started it all for you?
So for me, for sure, for certain, it was it. I remember I was like, just like you remember the first time you were watching Halloween 2, Great Aunt's House, all that stuff. I was down in my basement. We had like a small TV down there, and we had cable.
Oh, yeah.
And that was like my little hangout zone. I would watch my Mighty Ducks and stuff like that. So I flipped on the TV, flipping through the channels, and it's the beginning of It, the original It, right? I was like 5 or 6 years old. And I'm like, oh, clown. And it's Georgie interacting with him in the sewer.
Yeah.
And then, horrified me from then on after the occurrence of, what happens to Georgie right then and there.
Yeah.
So it scarred me, and then I would see that in like all the costume stores and stuff, all the Spirit Halloweens around the area, things like that. Oh my God, it terrified me. But being that terrified, that young, it's kind of like
it sticks with
you. Two things. Either it sticks with you and it like intrigues you,
or you're scared of clowns for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was scared of clowns for like most of my life, and then I just grew to love them.
All right.
Help them a clown myself.
Jimmy, I got to tell you, the original It miniseries, that's corny as shit, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry. I can't, dude. I can't. I tried. Tim Curry was great.
You don't have to explain.
Okay. I mean, you get it, though.
I rewatched it myself with my little brother like 7-8 years ago because he'd never seen it. And he loves horror movies. And I was like, all right, you got to watch the original It before we go watch like the remake.
Yeah. My faith was restored. I don't know how you feel about the newer It with Bill Skarsgård. I thought that at least the first one was a rock solid, really good remake.
Same.
And there have been a few remakes that you kind of go, why? That one, the Evil Dead movie from 2013, I thought was really good for a remake. But yeah, I just could never get on board with. And here's the problem I had with that It is in the 80s. Every 2 weeks there was a Stephen King miniseries, and I don't blame him because everybody will tell you the book is better than the blah blah blah. But the miniseries on even Salem's Lot, it doesn't hold well. Doesn't do. I couldn't ever. It didn't jar me. It didn't scare me. It just felt like a made-for-TV movie. It was hard to see John Ritter be in a horror movie after growing up watching him as Jack Tripper on Three's Company. It just didn't feel. It just didn't feel natural to me. I don't know.
Gotcha.
Brett's been in there 100 times. I have yet to make it all the way out there, so I apologize in advance if this is something that's already made the menu. But the original, the OG, the best horror movie on the planet, The Thing.
Yeah, you need a thing, dude.
Do we have an ice cream option for The Thing?
God, you need to have something for that, Jimmy.
We don't yet, but we could come up with something just for you guys.
Oh, stop it. Quit. I guarantee, though, if you put like an M&M McCready, I don't know how you could make it. Or make like make one look like the Petri dish with the blood in it. I don't know what you would do, Jimmy. You guys are master craftsmen and craftswomen. And I was looking at all of let's talk about the food for a little bit. Obviously, horror is a big theme. You've got the Boogeyman, the Monster Squad. My question about the Monster Squad, it does have Cocoa Pebbles in it. Are those the Nards? Is that Wolfman's Nards? Is that what those represent?
Unintentionally, I guess, now that you bring it up, yeah. Why not?
I saw that. I was like, dude, if that's not right.
Awesome.
Well, I was going to say, if that's not right, please lie to me, man. We'll edit it. We'll edit it. Make it sound like it was original.
All right, we'll edit it out. No, it totally isn't.
So out of, obviously the Captain Spaulding's one that I like, you guys did one for when the Wednesday Addams came out, you had did a special edition for that. Are you planning any more of those in the future? Was that kind of a one-off to see how well some of the, not secret menu items would do? Or is that going to be something that's semi-regular right now? Even?
We have a few in the works. One features one created by one of the OU linebackers.
Really?
He is a frequent customer. Yup. Frequent customer, comes in with the other linebacker all the time. And we said, you know what? Since we obviously are passionate about our community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Norman,
yeah.
OU. Love having a college town, because from where we're from, we don't have college town football vibes like that, So we're excited to be a part of that. So to have one of the star linebackers come in, two of them come in, we said, hey, he loves horror movies too, loves our ice cream. Said, hey, you do one. So we have one featuring him, and then we have a Killer Clowns from Outer Space one that we just came up with.
That's cool.
Just wait, you'll love that one. Features cotton candy flavored Oreos.
You're going for it. You guys are going for it, man. That's awesome, dude.
Yep.
Wow.
So we're always, my wife is always planning stuff. That's her main thing. She comes in, she gets creative. As we're shopping for supplies, she's always looking for new things.
My ex-wife got creative. That's why she's my ex-wife. You're mad scientists, but I gotta say, I was talking to somebody about y'all, and we were, they had been there before, and so we were kind of just kicking it back and forth about it, chopping it up. What I like about you all is you're a combination of like Cold Stone Creamery, where you put the ice cream down, you put the stuff in, you chop it up, you mix up with it, you put it in a cup. But what I like about you all is you guys take that to a whole new level. I've never, and maybe I don't get out enough. I call myself a foodie, but I've never seen anyone else make ice cream like you do, where it's soft serve with all the goodies in it like that, and then the toppings. Like, where did that's crazy talk, man. I mean, where did this again, I go back to, where did this idea come from?
One of our relatives, her brother owns the patent to the machines that we use.
Seriously?
And he has his own, yeah. Serially,
dude.
Cereal.
yeah. You're such a. That sounds like something a stoner would say. Cereal, dude. Yeah. Go ahead, I'm just kidding.
Cereal. So we used to go to his ice cream shop all the time, but we were like, "This is the best ice cream I've ever had." And then we would talk to him at family gatherings and stuff like that, because he was always there, and he owns one of our favorite Italian restaurants in Long Island. And it was, so we were always, the idea came up to start our own business, and we were spitballing ideas back and forth, me and my wife, and she's like, two of the machines. You can, get really creative with it. And she's super creative, as you can see from all the decor. I mean, obviously the menu. So, that's how that came to fruition. It allows us, and her especially, she's an artist when it comes to this stuff.
I like you, Jimmy, but you're trying really hard to give her all of the credit.
Hey, listen, I credit where credit's due. She's the one sitting there just. Listen, I try to stay away from this, okay? My waistline
I know
is
it, man.
upset with me.
Listen.
Nothing sticks to her, so she's able to sit there and try new things and do all this. I'm a little jealous. I get 5 pounds just thinking about what she's thinking about.
Behind every good woman is a man pushing a damn broom, dude. I mean, seriously. And you're doing I will say you run a pretty tight ship, but it's real clean. You're doing a great job with the maintenance around there, Jimmy.
Thank you. Yes. We try very hard. We use every cleaning product under the sun, try and keep it clean and sanitary. We eat out of our machines, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We try to keep it just as clean as we would at home.
So let's talk TikTok for a minute, shall we?
Okay.
Tiffany in Oklahoma posted a video that went psycho.
Insane.
Absolutely insane. I gotta say that has to have moved the needle quite a bit, because again, we go back to me talking about it, feeling like you guys were, I didn't know if you guys were closed or forgot to lock the door. So now you can't, you got to tell people, please shut the door. You're letting the freaking AC out.
Yeah.
What a crazy turnaround. Tell me a little bit about this video.
Surreal. Absolutely surreal. She came in with her daughter. She does most of her videos. She goes in with the family, or she goes around with her daughter whenever they have some spare time. She messaged us like after she left. Very sweet. She was with her daughter. Like I said, they both got some ice creams Friday early afternoon. It was quiet, so they were able to sit down, really take pictures and videos. We didn't know the gravity of her reach. And then she messaged us, hey, just want to let you know, made a TikTok about you. And then, we didn't realize until like the next day, somebody was like, TikTok. And we looked up her profile, and she has quite the reach. Somebody was like, your video already has like 50, 100,000 views. And we were like, oh my God, this is absolutely mind blowing. We weren't prepared for it. We only scheduled people to come in, like, prepared for the crowd that we're used to.
Oh, yeah.
My God, it was amazing.
I mean, did you have to have a job fair after?
Seriously, yes.
We
really, it reshaped how we ran the restaurant. It really did, because it was no joking around now. No missing one person or anything like that.
Yeah.
It had to be tight.
Well, I think one thing, you talk about being in a college town, there's always a kid looking for a job. They're not always great.
Oh, yeah.
They're not always hard workers, but you have no shortage of people looking for a job and working in a cool place like that. Because I'm sorry, I mean, if I had you for a boss, if I had your wife for a boss, because she runs everything, it'd be a blast. My girlfriend was like, because I was looking for a little side gig. She goes, you should work at the Ice Creamatory. I was like, nah, I can't do that. She's like, why? Because I probably have to shave my beard, number one.
Never.
But it's just a cool place. It's super laid back. And the other thing too is it caters to Because when I was in there and it was, you guys were going balls to the wall.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of people, like literally people with horror t-shirts like me that never wear anything else. Then you've got, I mean, college kids, families of 12. I mean, it was just pandemonium, man. I mean, what a blessing for you guys.
It really was. It was, like I said, it was surreal because we didn't expect anything like that within our first, we only opened in November, so it was within like the first 8 months, let alone, you know what I mean, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. It was insane. We were a destination. Even today, we're still getting people that saw the video. They came from 3 hours away over by the Panhandle. I forgot what the specific town was, but they were like, yeah, no, we saw Tiffany in Oklahoma's video. So that video still has reach. They drove 3 hours just to see us. And I verify every time somebody says that, I'm like, just to see us? No, this is all we had planned for today. And it's flattering. It's insane. I'm just a small guy. We were just small people just trying to not have to listen to idiots tell us what to do all day, you know?
Yeah, but here's the thing about what you're doing, and I think you and I talked about it briefly when I first met you, and then, you know, at the horror convention, you are doing something. I wanted to do some research. There's very few horror-themed restaurants or businesses in the country. It's just not, it's unheard of. I know Nightmare Toys has their toy shop and a restaurant in Vegas. There's another place I think is in like Akron or something. I may be getting it wrong, but there's not a whole lot of places like you. Now, when you go to TikTok and you put in the Ice Creamatory, Tiffany in Oklahoma's video is the first thing that pops up.
Yes.
So, I mean, you guys are a destination. I mean, I know you're humble, and that's the thing I like about you, Jimmy, is you're humble pie. You're definitely not too proud to say how blessed you guys are for taking it. I mean, you took a shot, honestly, and it's paying off in huge dividends, and it gets you connect. And that's the thing about what we promote, is it keeps you connected to your community. And when you're a business owner that's not too proud to say, we came here for this community, we're engaged with this community and any community, because you've got people, like you said, the Panhandle, dude, that's way up there, man. That's like, there's literally a place in the Panhandle that's called No Man's Land.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a dairy and non-dairy destination, apparently. You guys do non-dairy as well. Is there anything you don't do?
We try to include everybody. The only thing we don't do is like diabetic-friendly stuff. A few people have come in and asked, and I feel terrible that we have to tell them, no, we don't have anything, but we are literally just sugar dealers. That's what we do. So,
well, I'm a diabetic,
we don't cater
Jimmy.
To. It's tough. It's tough to find stuff that would.
I'm a diabetic, Jimmy. I'll be the first to tell you. I took my girl to get ice cream there both times.
Oh my God.
No, I love you guys. No, seriously. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and act like I'm not pretending like I don't. You know, every now and again, you know, blow my freaking my blood pact with the doctor, but literally, but I'm working on it. All right. But it doesn't mean I won't support you. You do what I like. You have the things that I admire. Now, if I went in there with Jason in the corner, we probably wouldn't be having this conversation right now, to be honest with you. You may not remember, we talked about any plans to expand, because I mean, let's be realistic, man. You guys are running out of room on the sidewalk. Is there any plans to do the second locations, or, and not to give anything away, but have you been in talks of doing anything like that?
100%. We're just, like I said, we're just regular people.
Yeah. And
we're happy that we could feed our kid. So that's like, just getting into business is something new for us. So we're something on the table. We want to find investors, things like that. We're just trying to figure out how to go about it and do it the right way. Because I think what sets us apart from all the other places that are ice cream spots, we're the only ones invested into the place. So we're able to put personality, be able to be personal with it. You know, if we get investors, we're going to have to do it to
your
a certain
way. Yeah.
So we're going to have to make sure they're people that are on board with letting us do what we think works best.
Well, and that's the thing too, you know, in just about any industry where you basically sign on the line, there's always a chance that you're going to give up artistic license or give up the spirit or the essence just to make, you know, the potential to make $1 million. You have to sign your life away. That's what I like about you, is you're like, you know, we could sell out, but I want to make sure if we sell out, we're selling out ice cream, not, you know, not the spirit and the essence of what we're trying to build here.
exactly. We wanted it to be us. We wanted to have creative control. We wanted to make sure we can do it how we saw it would work best.
And I think, has it exceeded your expectations, or are you on target so far, you think, in your opinion?
It's exceeded our expectations for sure. Like I said, we did not expect to be as busy. Like you experienced it at its peak.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was crazy. That was beyond anything. Could you imagine that many people going to Brahms at the same time for ice cream?
And they're
you know what I mean?
Dude, they're right around the corner. Brahms is right around the corner. Yeah, that's the crazy part. And I grew up on Brahms, man. I worked at Brahms, so I know my way around an ice cream machine, dude. Don't think I won't put my application in if it gets real rough. But yeah, and that's, again, we're talking about a lot of things that you and I have talked about before here. Name recognition, and Harley and I talk about this, and I've been under attack recently because people side with name recognition over small business. They don't want to take a chance on something interesting, different, and innovative over. Yeah. But we've been going to such and such and so our whole lives. Yeah, but the quality's not like it was when we were kids. You know what I mean? You have something interesting, your business model, the way you operate, the way you carry yourselves. I mean, just a couple of like you said, just a couple of normal people with a great idea. And what can anyone say, honestly, besides, can I get this to go? Well, that's the only thing I can't think of anything
exactly.
else. So
exactly,
you guys are, I just have nothing but respect for y'all.
We appreciate that. And we have nothing but respect for you for, you're an OG. We're an OG. You're one of the first.
We're one of the, I came
in one of our first weeks.
Yeah. And you guys didn't know how to operate the register. I remember it. I'm kidding. I'm teasing.
Exactly.
It's hard to do.
It is hard to operate a register.
It's hard to start a business from the ground up.
It really is, especially, a lot of who we talked to, Jimmy, you talked about kind of waiting till the pandemic, with the pandemic going on and things in Long Island kind of tightening up. We talk to businesses all the time. We're like, you started in 2019? People have a short-term memory from about 2018 to 2021. No one was doing anything.
Yeah.
And there are people going, yep, we saved all of our money and put all of our money into our business, and we're still here. And then the other day we did a story on a restaurant that's got a 90-year-old chili recipe, dude. They've been open.
God, that's awesome.
They've been open since 1948. So it can be
amazing.
If anything, that proves that small business can be successful, but it's all about really your interaction with the customers and the community. If you get a black eye in the community, you're done.
Yeah.
And you guys, people love you. In an ice cream business.
Well, that's another thing that, I think sets us apart is we're always there, or at least we try to be there as much as we can. We also try to spend as much time as we can with our son, right? And
right.
That was the whole goal of starting this, is something that we could pass down to him.
Absolutely.
Make, hopefully generational wealth. But, we're always there interacting with the same people. We have such an awesome customer base of people that come in and we see weekly. There's so many people that come in that we see weekly, monthly. We haven't seen them in a while. They come back. I'm like, oh, my God, hey, how's it been? It's so awesome, the amount of support that we get from the community. And that's exactly why we moved down here to do it.
Yeah.
Because up there, we wouldn't have got that. We wouldn't have got that. People like big name brand, like you're just saying.
Yeah.
People are married to the idea.
They're married to the idea. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. These people walked in our store, saw two kids that just had a twinkle in their eye, and they keep coming back. And to me, that's the most flattering thing. And all the reviews that we get, we don't ask anybody for a review.
Yeah.
We don't ask a single person for a review. And all we get, friendly staff, amazing people, this and that. And also get staff that shares the same passion.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing about that too. When you guys are, I'm going to say it, when you're up to your ass in alligators in there, and you don't get a bad review, people are willing to wait. A buddy of mine said, hey, we went to the Ice Creamatory. We waited 30 minutes. They had a non-dairy option. His wife couldn't eat dairy. He goes, but it was worth the wait. We loved it. When you say to somebody, it's going to be about 30 minutes, they're not grabbing their kids and leaving. They're not.
For the most part, no.
when I was there were people that were still filing in. It's a testament to the product, first of all. When you put all you have into a product, it shows, man. I mean, the loyalty program that people put into businesses, if they latch on to you, that Grapevine newsletter will carry you through to the end. It's not about $1 million machines, and it's not about a 2,200 square foot space where we can play skee ball. I mean, it's not like that. You're in the zone. So, I mean, again, what could anyone say other than I waited 30 minutes for the best damn ice cream I've ever had, with my favorite cereal in it, with my favorite candy in it, and you know what I mean? Like, seriously, I went down the list. Like, there's literally nothing you don't offer. So,
well, we try. Yeah.
For the haters, piss off. I mean, honestly.
And listen, you're always going to have, I call it the 10% rule.
Oh, yeah.
And especially when you have the volume that comes in after somebody like Tiffany in Oklahoma posts a video like that, you're 10% increase. There's always going to be 10%. I could give a brick of gold to these people in a cup, and they'd be like, it's not platinum. I hate this.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Just yesterday, we got a review. Some guy said, I don't get ice cream often, and I absolutely hate chocolate. And, of course, what did I get? Chocolate. I just responded, look, you could have went to our staff. We would have given you something on the house right then and there.
Right.
But, some people, they just don't want that. They don't want the solution.
Right. I posted something yesterday, and him and I are going to talk about it later, or over the weekend. I went to Brahms. It was a late night. I was in Tulsa. I got a burger and a fry, and the kid offered me what they call Brahms sauce. All I did, you can look on that if you get a chance, get over there and stalk our page. All I did was...
I saw the controversy.
Dude,
I saw the controversy.
It's split down the middle. Either people love it, hate it, they love us, or they hate us. You can't... And I'm not in the food industry. I'm just saying, looky what I did. And they're going, well, if you want cane sauce, go to cane sauce. I never said I wanted cane sauce, guy. I said it looks and tastes kind of like cane sauce. Well, you're an idiot. Okay. All right. But we cannot win, whether we're promoting a small business, whether you run a small business. Art is subjective, food is subjective, everything that you love is subjective. Harley likes Halloween 3, and 80% of the Halloween community would probably have him burnt at the stake for even calling it Halloween 3, and there are reasons for that's another episode. But what you're doing, dude, you're changing perspectives, you're changing lives, man. I mean, you're giving...
I'm hoping so.
Listen, you're giving not only your community, but a horror community a place to kind of go literally chill. I mean, honestly.
There was like it was some sort of comic convention or something at OU, and this whole group of cosplayers, they planned to meet up. It was like a Saturday or a Sunday. It was quiet. It wasn't terrible.
Oh, it was SoonerCon.
It must have been SoonerCon, yes, right? And they all planned, it was like 15 of them walk in the door, all dressed up. They're like, can we wear masks in here? We were like, this is the coolest thing we've ever seen. Of course you can.
Yeah.
So we got some pictures with them, and it was so flattering to hear a whole group of kids thought our place was cool enough to all meet up at.
Well,
we don't serve alcohol or coffee or anything, just ice cream and horror through the mix. That's awesome.
Well, and you're in the horror group with me, aren't you? OKC Horror as the Ice Creamatory. Those are some cool cats and kittens over there, and I know they've tried to organize some stuff. And even the guy, what is his name with the book signing? What's his name?
Oh, Jake Bannerman. Yeah,
Jake. He used to be Moose Radio. Okay. Years ago, I met him when I worked in radio. I went over there and sat in on his podcast. Really cool guy.
Yeah, definitely.
But you guys are opening doors, for all kinds of people, letting all kinds of people do all kinds of cool things. I think I don't know. You guys you're just great. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter how great I say you are. Somebody's going to come along and go, well, they don't have a vegan option. Okay. All right. Well, just go somewhere else.
Which we do. We have non-dairy vegan options.
Oh, do
Oreos
you?
are vegan.
What is
Vanilla Oreos?
Is it the Little Shop of Horrors? You get the plant-based...
There you go. That's not a bad idea. That's a great, we should
listen
have
to
actually
me.
a vegan. But anything on our menu can be made into the vegan option. Most cereals are vegan, things like that.
Well, listen to me, dude. You're going, that's a great idea. If you make $1 million on an M&M McCready, I'm not coming. You're from freaking Long Island, dude. You'll make me disappear. I'm not saying anything, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know people on Rikers Island, probably. But no, no, just keep swimming, dude. Keep pedaling. You're doing a great job, and I mean, I look forward to. Harley looks forward to. Everybody I know I've had multiple people come up to me and go, "You need to cover the Ice Creamatory." I'm like, I have covered it with cookies, and then there's some M&Ms and some chocolate drizzle on it, but no, man, we really appreciate you being on the show. But how can people get in touch with you guys and gals, figure out when the best time to come, what's on the menu, get in touch and all that stuff? How do we do that?
The best way to get in touch with us is definitely through Facebook or Instagram. That's where we're most responsive. Sometimes the phone can be the phone.
Oh, yeah.
We are open Wednesday through Saturday, 3 to 10 p.m. And then Sundays we do 2 to 8. We don't usually do any different hours other than that. Maybe during Halloween time we might. We're not sure. But Wednesday through Saturday, 3 to 10 p.m. Sundays, 2 to 8 p.m.
Sweet. Jimmy, thanks for being on the show, man.
It was an honor. But it really is an honor that we are on a show like yours. You guys have quite a following on Facebook. I'm on the phone with people who care about my business. That's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's amazing.
Well, keep it up.
Take care, guys.
All right. Bye.
I do feel like you kind of dominated the conversation.
Sorry.
I'm sitting over here going,
I want to say something. I pointed to
raising my hand, and you're like, well, let's talk about all the things that interest me.
Oh, goodness.
Let's talk about movies that I like, and let's talk about the things that you do that I like. Let's talk about the number of times that I've been there.
Well, it's kind of like the Taste of Choctaw guys. Sometimes I'm the other guy, and then other times you're the other guy. I'm sorry.
I'm the other guy all the time because I'm the guy that does all of the work in the background.
So you're okay when you're looking at hierarchy. His wife is the creative force, the creative driving force, and he does everything she says. So what are we in our small business hierarchy? Where do I fall in?
According to you, in your inability to put sentences together, you list yourself as the talent.
Only on the check. It only says it on the check, on the memo line.
But seriously, in all seriousness, if you are interested in checking out the Ice Creamatory, which I cannot understand if you say you are not interested in it, it is one of the most unique restaurants
around
that you're going to run into. And the way they've executed this is beyond belief.
Absolutely.
The attention to detail that went into the decorating of the location, the attention to detail that goes into the desserts that they make, it's top notch. But they're on Southeast 12th in Norman, Oklahoma. Yep. Go check them out, but be prepared because there's a real good chance you're going to wait a minute.
If you go in on an afternoon, expect, if you're not first in line, to be last in line waiting 30 minutes for your ice cream. But I'm telling you right now, it is well worth it.
If you want more information on the Ice Creamatory, including their menu, or just looking at pictures of their food or their restaurant, which I highly recommend, then check out their website, theicecreamatory.com.
And coming up next, film brought to you by Cherokee Nation. So I saw something cool today on the internet.
On the internet?
On the internet. I know, make it sound like I just logged into AOL for the first time.
You've got mail.
On my CompUSA computer that I bought. Bravado Wireless has a hot air balloon, dude. Did you see that?
I did see that post. I do think it's cool.
At the Paris Balloon Fest, I'm not saying it's the real thing. It's not photoshopped. It's a real Bravado Wireless hot air balloon.
I want to know where we can get our OnlyinOKShow hot air balloon.
I was literally thinking I could get a picture and Photoshop our logo onto it and then Photoshop it into that picture and cover up one of the other local businesses. But I didn't want to do that. But I think a hot air balloon fits our mold. And I think Bravado Wireless really fits everyone else's mold.
They fit our mold really well. We talk about local businesses that are doing unique things
Yep.
that are helping their communities.
Yep.
And that's literally Bravado Wireless's mission statement.
Well, we talked about it a little bit off the air. We're not telling you about anything unique. Wireless is everywhere. Everybody
has a cell phone.
Everyone has a cell phone. Everybody has a tiny pocket computer, yes. But what does your pocket computer do outside of just
accessing the internet?
Where you find
things on the internet.
When you find things on the internet. I like that they're connected to
their communities.
Their communities. We say it, we say it, we spray it, we tell everybody that wants to hear it. It's all about community. We talked to the Ice Creamatory a little bit earlier on in the show. They're not even from here originally, and they came here and they're plugged into their community. Bravado Wireless does the same thing. 5 days ago, they were at the Shakota game, for crying out loud. Photos, videos, they're everywhere.
You can boil it down to they live where you live.
We kind of say it in jest, but yes, they're embedded in your community. You're going to pass them in the grocery store.
You're not going to run into the guy that runs Amazon
right
in your neighborhood.
Yeah, he's not.
They're not there.
No.
When it comes to the big wireless carriers, you're not going to run into those guys at the local high school football game. Bravado Wireless does local cellular and home internet in eastern Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And that's what they do, and that's where they're at.
Yes. If you order equipment, free shipping. They're always running some type of sale or special. Again, we're not reinventing the wheel, but we are telling you a better way to get it.
That's exactly right. If you need new cellular or home internet provider, reach out to a Bravado store. Speak to a customer service representative, 866-500-8488.
Or if you're on the internet, it's bravadowireless.com. All right, what's our news story?
News story from Deadline.com. Cherokee Nation launches Cherokee Film as an expansion of its current filmmaking ecosystem.
You're seeing a lot more of these independent film studios that are popping up and cropping up throughout tribes across the country.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of it happening here in Oklahoma, especially Oklahoma, where we're kind of becoming like the Hollywood's Midwest, Southwest campus, basically.
Dude, with Hollywood being in the position that it's in right now, I can't think of a better time for independent organizations to be dipping their foot in this. And Cherokee Nation is doing a bang-up job.
Yeah.
Okay, so the news story, basically, they now have 4 distinct branches and logos, as well as social media accounts, aimed at better representing the tribe's continued efforts in becoming a film and media production hub. Their collective efforts in filmmaking, storytelling, content creation are now called Cherokee Film.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes sense that you have to kind of segment it, because the Cherokee Nation, we've talked about a lot on the show, has a lot of irons in the fire.
Yes, the Cherokee Nation does do billions upon billions of dollars of economic development here in the state of Oklahoma and throughout.
Yeah, and again, I think it makes sense to kind of categorize the film portion because it's growing so rapidly and they're doing so much. So as it stands right now, Cherokee Film's portfolio has more than 30 full-time employees.
Wow. That's a lot.
when you're talking about, that's more people than are working in Hollywood right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I don't know what the rules and regs are with the Cherokee Film Studios and others that are similar. If they're having to take some time off through strikes, I doubt that the unions have really any say so in what they're doing. But either way, it's really refreshing to see that because I'm a big fan of independent film and independent filmmaking, and it's nice to see. Not just, Cherokee, obviously, but seeing other tribes like the Osage get involved with Hollywood. You've got Killers of the Flower Moon that's coming out in less than a month. You're just seeing a lot of these type of moves. The Native Americans have really started a movement in movie and television making with Reservation Dogs. And
I agree, but I do think there should be a delineation, like calling Cherokee film a part of Hollywood. I think it does a disservice to Cherokee film, because it's something that you and I talk about, and it makes it into the show occasionally, typically in the outtakes where we're talking about a movie that we watched or whatever. But there are so few original ideas coming out of California.
Yeah.
I see nothing but like forward momentum for any organization that's putting out television or movies that are based on original concepts where the writers, aren't beholden to the marketing team, and you don't have to worry about what's going to be on your Taco Bell branded cups. You don't have to include, an animated toad to make to make sure that your Happy Meal has a toy in it.
Well, and you also, to the other point, on the flip side of that, you don't have to racially appropriate to promote. You know what I mean? Where 30 years ago, you'd have to have somebody stand out front with a headdress on to tell you that welcome to, it's just a different time now. I think it blends well. You can separate it from Hollywood and still promote it without having to say, hey, we're a Native American, film production team. I think we're in a different age now. Another thing I, want to mention is, I don't know if you watched Prey, the Predator
I did
movie. That was Comanche language. They offered a Comanche language version that wasn't dubbed over, and an English version that wasn't dubbed over. So you're seeing a lot more of those things culturally kind of blend into the mainstream. Whereas again, before there would have been that delineation between Hollywood. You know what I mean? It's just a different time now.
It is, and I think it's important. Again, I feel like the Cherokee Film Commission is still doing their their $1 million annual film prize, that sort of thing. I like seeing that happen, but at the same time, I want to hear original stories. Things that haven't been on the
not a rehash or a remake.
I don't need another one of my childhood memories butchered by somebody who's trying to reimagine it for a new age.
Yeah,
like it's not a new age.
Yeah,
like most of the movies that they reboot
are terrible.
Well, not. I'm not saying that they're not terrible, but most of the movies that they reboot aren't that old.
They're not that old. What was a movie recently that they're wanting to I can't think of the name of it, but it's a movie that's come out within the last 5 years, and they're already last 10 years, and they're already they're in talks to remake the movie. I'm like, we literally just got it re-released on Blu-ray. Why are we trying to remake something? It's like we've got to brush up the effects and spend $10 billion. I think that's a lot of my favorite movies now come in at a budget that's under $100 million. You know what I mean? You can't hardly make a movie for under $100 million that anyone has the availability to watch. You got to dig for them. I mean, you found some gems on Tubi, for crying out loud,
and
that have never seen the light of day, probably.
For sure, but what was the movie we were discussing? It's been a few months back. That was actually filmed in Oklahoma, a horror movie.
Oh,
Splinter, yeah. Was it Splinter?
Uh-huh.
That movie's great.
Yeah.
Original concept, filmed in Oklahoma. I think they spent like 17 nickels on it or something.
Yeah. It's got a cult following, but other than that,
I think right now, people are starving for good entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Cherokee Nation being one of the largest, actually, I think they are the largest Native American tribe in the U.S. With them having this whole ecosystem built out right here in Oklahoma, dude, why not take advantage of it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
While Hollywood is
trying to figure out
the bed,
while they're trying to figure out how to remake a remake of a reboot that nobody watched the first time.
And they're all, they're all on strike because, $100 billion or whatever they made on their last film wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough to cover. Yeah.
So I'm all for somebody coming in independent who can put out some good entertainment. I think it's great.
With some local ties.
I love the local ties.
Yeah.
But if you want more information, check out Cherokee.film. We'll include a link in the show notes to the story from Deadline.com.
Okay. We've reached a point in the show.
Our feedback, the point in the show where we do feedback?
Where we do feedback.
Where we are still waiting on the listener
I did
feedback.
the thing, and you didn't.
It was garbage.
Okay, so I'll do another one. We'll just do another one. That's fine. So I made a post last week. I was in Tulsa overnight. It's 10:30. Not a whole lot of options in South Tulsa at 10:30 at night that aren't quick and dirty. I went to Brahms. I did the name recognition thing.
How many times do we have to discuss on this show the local, independent, small business?
Brahms was local, independent, small business 50 years ago.
Yeah, but now I don't know who owns them. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably Putin.
Probably somebody that pronounces it Brahms. That's probably, it's Brahms, and we have the burger and the dipping sauces, specifically the Brahms sauce.
So you put a post up about your late night trip to Brahms.
I put a couple.
I mean, at least it wasn't McDonald's, but
yeah.
Okay, Brahms.
So I put a couple fries dipped in the sauce, and all I said was Brahms sauce tastes an awful lot like cane sauce. Maybe a few little things scattered in. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing. I wasn't completely off base. Next time you get a chance, try it. I was this close to doing a Pepsi challenge and running through Cane's, and having your teenagers, because let's be realistic, Cane's, the parents will eat it, but the kids like it. Kids like Cane's. Kids love chicken strips, don't they?
I think that's pretty universal, yeah.
They like chicken strips, cheese pizza, and pepperoni pizza until they're about 25 years old. Anyway, so we
weren't a part of this. This was your post. I'm going to go back in and Photoshop your face onto the picture.
Okay.
Because I didn't have anything to do with this.
Well, the good news is it says OnlyinOK, posted by Brett.
No, it doesn't show anybody who's not affiliated with the page.
There you go. Anyway, it's a mixed bag of being told how ignorant we are for thinking that it's better. I never said that in the post, that it's better. I said it tastes an awful lot like cane sauce, to the point where people were fact-checking people that were trying to be fact-checkers. We had historians in there. We've got fact-checkers. We've got internet samurais. We've got troll. I have never been trolled over a dipping sauce before in my life. Are you reading it now? Are you looking at it now?
I'm looking at it, yes.
I mean, it's crazy.
It is insane that we got so much feedback on literally
a dipping sauce.
A picture of a dipping sauce with a fry sticking out of it.
I mean, I would even go so far as to read a couple of them, but I mean, you got to dig through the ones that basically tell you, everything but you're a redheaded stepchild. Brahms had it first. Somebody said I live 30 minutes from Cane's, but 3 minutes from Brahms. $7.99 chicken strip dinner, pretty close. Okay. To get them side by side, Brahms is better, so it can't just be cane sauce. I never said that. It doesn't really matter. I don't think anyone is going to drive to Cane's for sauce when they get Brahms, and vice versa. Just be glad both places have more than ketchup. Okay, I'm with you. Brahms sauce is awesome. Okay.
I think at the end of the day, you're just too sensitive.
I'm not sensitive. But I was called some choice. I'm going to say, okay, it was me. I was called some choice names, all because of a sauce. But it's really right. It's pretty split down the middle.
So it's something we discuss on a regular basis, though. If you have an opinion and you share it, you've opened yourself up to all of the verbal abuse that the internet can throw at you. It's your own fault. You do a show where you give your opinion every week on things, and then you share stuff on the internet. I have no sympathy for you.
Somebody put for only an Oklahoma page, you don't know sauce about Oklahoma. I'm telling you, somebody got a cup full of it. This is how you're supposed to eat fries. They've got like a small mix cup with a French fry sticking out of it. That's too much. But here's the thing. This is the honest to God truth, and this is the last thing I'll say. Brahms does have, I called, because I feel like it's a Mandela effect. When I worked at Brahms 25, 27 years ago, they had what they called Brahms sauce. It was basically a ketchup-based sauce with pickle juice in it and something to give it a little bit of zing. It looked like ketchup, kind of a cross between ketchup and barbecue sauce is what it looked like. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Sonic's hickory sauce. Anyway, but it's not, okay? It's not like it. They did not have a creamy dipping sauce. They didn't have chicken strips back then. If they did, it was gravy. You dipped them in gravy. Brahms' stiffest competition back then was Dairy Queen. We didn't have a Dairy Queen. So you went to Brahms to get your steak fingers or your chicken fingers or whatever. You had gravy to dip it in. They did not release the Brahms sauce that everybody... The Cane-spiracy here, they didn't release the cane sauce, the Brahms sauce until 2015 when they launched their chicken strip dinner. Okay?
So what you're attempting to do for these keyboard samurais
is tell them they're wrong.
Is talk to them on the show when 99% of the people who make trolly comments on the internet don't listen to good stuff like the OnlyinOKShow.
They live with their mom.
They live with their mom, and they might listen to...
Insert young podcaster with a beanie. Okay?
It just doesn't matter. They're not listening to our show. They only hopped on because you said something. You expressed an opinion.
I triggered their fast food. I triggered a fast food frenzy.
Yes, and that's on you.
I know it's on me. But, folks, the creamy dipping sauce. I called Brahms to verify.
So now you're going to try to pull our listeners into this fiasco that you put on Facebook.
I'm just saying. That's it. I'm done, and I'm never going... I almost went to Brahms tonight to go, was I wrong?
Okay, here you are wrong. So I will tell you, the original Brahms sauce for French fries...
Yes.
The original Brahms sauce for French fries is a chocolate shake.
True.
You can say whatever you want
you're
about
right.
your spicy, tangy
No, you're right.
mayonnaise
you're
that
right.
you added to the menu. Brahms sauce is a chocolate shake.
Yep.
Done.
And if
Cane's doesn't have that.
They don't. You're right. If the Ice Creamatory had French fries, you know what?
Brahms would go out of business.
Well, no. I might bring some Brahms fries to the Ice Creamatory and just dip them into it. And go, look Brahms, mic drop. Your fries are barely worthy of the Ice Creamatory.
Brahms is going to come back with, yeah, and you have diabetes.
Good luck not dying.
They're going to come back and say, good job, Wilford Brimley. You need a shot of insulin with that?
You put the die in diabetes.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying. It's cane sauce. I'm done.
You say that, but you will continue. You will drop the words cane sauce
until
the day you die.
The reactions are still trickling in over this cane sauce deal. I've buried a single episode of our show, and I'm sorry, over this cane. I didn't know that the cane sauce, the Brahms Cane-spiracy post was going to catch as much fire as it did. I blame that post on burying the show. I released that post on Friday. I apologize. It gathered all the steam over the weekend, and Monday it steamrolled our show. I'm sorry. So maybe you should post this week's episode next week.
Well, if you have thoughts on Brahms sauce versus cane sauce
versus Freddy's sauce, apparently,
or if you're going to be in the right column and just say that the best Brahms sauce is a chocolate shake,
yeah,
then let us know. Hit us up on Facebook. If you have show ideas or you just want to yell at Brett about his bad ideas, hit us up at OnlyinOKShow@gmail.com.
Or you can email me personally at I'm just kidding. You're not doing that. Trust me, I've got 75,000 emails, and I'll never see it. But I digress. As always, special thanks to our sponsor, Bravado Wireless. This has been the OnlyinOKShow. New episodes every week. I say that. I hope so. This is Brett.
And I'm Harley, and we're out of here.
Peace.
Only Satanists go to the fair.
Let it be known, let it be entered into the record that September the 20th, the year of our Lord 2023, item A, Silver Yeti Cup. That will be remain with Harley Covington.
A member of the company.
So it's quid pro quo. It's all pretty standard.
Quid pro quo means something
I know.
different.
Okay, what did I say? Okay, no, I always want to say not quid pro quo. I always want to say, what is it? It's not. It's it's a fancy word for saying SOP. What is it? It's right there.
Chet at Townsend. His shit is so big, and he's bought so much stuff that they're moving the Rock Island Arts Festival.
They're moving it
down the other end of the street.
Oh,
I guess between the construction and the fact that they no longer own
Townsend,
that end of the town.
Really?
Yeah, because they used to have exhibits inside the train depot.
He has the
and that whole end was blocked off with...
I want to see what the Chicka Shave pages are saying. I'd be interested in... Oh, you got a write-up, huh?
They're going to reevaluate for next year, but that construction festival promises to be one of the best with artists, crafters, food trucks.
That's going to be so strange having it this in.
I guess by the way.
Oh, yeah? Wow, that's... Okay. Well, I think here's the thing, though. I think aesthetically, it's more pleasing where it's been for...
Winery, 25
sold their soul for barbecue. Dude, the dude's got more money than God.
It's going to run for 3 days.
Yeah.
Friday, 30th, October 1st, Eel Walk on Saturday, Oklahoma Food Truck Chain Saturday. I didn't combine Food Truck Chain.
Arts Festival?
Yeah.
They did that last year.
Did they?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Food Truck Championship ended here, then you kind of went, and they had that vendor area set up kind of in and around where basically where the leg lamp is now, which that's the other thing. They didn't have the leg lamp full time last year. So that's kind of so I guess it makes sense.
Annual Chocolate Festival in the Darko
is when? Same weekend?
October 3rd.
It better not be
from 5:30 to...
You know what else is October 3rd? Trying to make a way to make it happen. Honeybee.
It's like 2 weeks.
Is it?
Dude, it's the 20th of September.
I'm sorry, I not keep track with what date is. I'm only looking forward to Halloween.
The 3rd is... That can't be right. The 3rd is a Tuesday.
Maybe it's the 8th.
The 6th or 7th.
6th or 7th, yeah. Because they were posting it on there. Maybe we can go buy some...
can you do me a favor and not use autistic, white girl, basically anything that you would normally say?
Why?
On our Facebook.
I repeated the autistic thing because somebody had said it about us.
Yes,
but it was in response to being accused of being autistic.
I understand that.
Okay.
But
okay, sure. It's honeybee.
Not when you're typing it.
Not when you're typing. I wonder what. Let's see. Siri, where's Hanobia? See, she even pulled up the direction. Hanobia. It's a 3-hour and 29-minute drive, man.
October 6th and 7th.
Looks like we're kicking over the Coleman burn bans in effect. Such a camper dad. Well, looks like we're cooking chuck wagon style with the Coleman burner. Why? Burn bans in effect.
Yeah, I dropped the show.
Okay.
And then it was within 2 hours. You're like, here's a liquid death that I'm drinking. Why? I want to rock!
3, 2, 1.